Yo, what's up guys? I'm always excited to talk about Killing Floor, and things have been pretty crazy lately. There's a lot to get into, like Killing Floor 2's player count, price, DLCs, new content, and of course, Killing Floor 3. Obviously, there's a lot of hype for that game and a lot to get into, but first, we have to see if Killing Floor 2 is still worth playing, the new middle child of Killing Floor 1 and Killing Floor 3. You have options now. I recommend watching my other Killing Floor 2 reviews if you want to know the basics of this game, but this game is in an interesting position now. It's done with its life cycle of content, but I was still able to experience a double XP event in late 2024, early 2025, as well as a bunch of sales. Don't expect new content, but you can expect sales and maybe another event like double XP. Speaking of sales, this game is only $1 on sale. Last year it was $6, now it's about $1 on sale. There is seriously no excuse not to at least try this game. Possibly one of the best games you can get this cheap like a Valve game. Not to mention the DLCs aren't a bad price on sale if you're into that, so at least this game is very cheap and accessible nowadays. Can't say the same for classic COD Zombies, but I know a lot of you watch me during sales, so get it while it's cheap. Well, if you're not worried about the price, the player count isn't looking too bad either. I don't know how this looks to you, but for a decade-old co-op zombie shooter, I think this is good. It's not hard to find a lobby, you can find lobbies on every difficulty, but it gets trickier for certain game modes, and the hardest difficulty, Hell on Earth. A lot of veterans prefer playing on Hell on Earth, and it can be a mixed bag looking for good randoms to play with. It can be a gamble unless you find a good squad. I usually prefer playing solo, but I encourage playing online. It keeps the game alive. There's a lot of hours you can sink into this game many years later. Not only is there a bunch of maps and weapons, the perk system keeps me coming back. Leveling up every class seems like it'll take about 500 hours or more. You can see the progress I've made in nearly 330 hours. I've prestiged every class at least once and got Survivalist to max prestige, my favorite perk. You may have noticed that I didn't make as much progress as last time, and that's because I finished one of the best parts of this game's replayability, and that's the achievements. I finally got all 307 achievements, and the best part is, I got the last achievement on Christmas, which is very fitting for Killing Floor. Kinda. It took me 320 hours to get every achievement, especially for those last few. It was a big motivation to get me to this point, but it feels like I've mostly accomplished everything with this game. But I'm glad I can still prestige and make progress if I want to play this game in the future. And if you're really itching for new content, there's always the Steam Workshop. I only use this for custom maps, but I'm sure there's other fun stuff too. I'm sure you can tell by now that this video is made up of a bunch of custom maps. I prefer the maps that are from other games like Borderlands, or from shows like South Park. I mean, sure, a bunch of them are copy-paste or not original, but it's still fun and cool to see them in this game. Because of this, you'll still see some new maps and some of them are original, don't expect too much, but big respect to the community for keeping this game fresh with content. I hope Killing Floor 3 keeps this up. Speaking of Killing Floor 3, I can't believe this is actually happening. It's been about a decade since Killing Floor 2, basically a decade if you count the 2015 alpha. It almost feels like a Valve game coming out. A lot of us have been anticipating this for a long time. They announced this sometime last year and I've been patiently waiting. I don't know about you guys, but I don't get overly hyped for 99% of games anymore. If you watch my Payday 3 video, I said that there were only 2 games that I've been hyped for. Payday 3, and we all know how that went at launch, and Killing Floor 3. Even before Payday 3, I said that Killing Floor 3 was a bigger deal to me. Maybe that game will get better over time, but I have more hope for Killing Floor 3. And I know what some of you are gonna say, a lot of you Killing Floor veterans don't have hope, and I can see why. Killing Floor 1 in the original mod definitely had the best tone and atmosphere, then Killing Floor 2 is a little more modern and sci-fi, and it looks like Killing Floor 3 will continue this modern sci-fi look. I don't hate this, but I see where the Killing Floor enthusiasts are coming from. Killing Floor doesn't seem to be that dark, gritty, and raw experience anymore, but with that being said, I still have way more playtime on Killing Floor 2 than 1. I think 2 is an overall better package with the benefits of modern features, and if you really want to get into it, then watch my Killing Floor 1 vs 2 video. So if you love Killing Floor 1 and hate Killing Floor 2, I feel your pain, and it's not just the visuals. I know you guys don't like that they're adding specialists, which is very controversial. It looks like there's going to be a lot of gadgets and new features. Trust me, I know how this looks, but I still think Killing Floor 3 is going to be a fun game. I'll be skeptical about these new features in the new direction, but I wanna like this game. I want it to be fun. I'm open-minded enough to enjoy these new features if they're executed well enough. I'm not hyped for specialists, but what if they're fun to level up and upgrade? Maybe they revert back to the old perk system like I think 2042 did with their class system. I'm sure they'll add more depth to the perks and specialists, so let's hope it's not too limiting. I'm sure some of you already know about all of this and more because there's already trailers and videos on this game, but I've been avoiding most of it. I've watched some teasers and trailers and I thought the videos introducing the Zeds were cool, but I don't want to overindulge. I want this game to feel new and fresh. Like, I don't want to watch a 5 or 20 minute gameplay video, I just want to experience it. I actually thought about recording my first game as a fun video idea. I definitely have some ideas and want to make a fair amount of Killing Floor 3 content. I'm making this video before the beta, but it might come out after the beta. We'll see. Let me know what you guys thought of the beta. Did it make you want to pre-order? I'm definitely gonna pre-order, but I'm still deciding which edition I want. The standard edition is fine because you get those bonuses, but the deluxe edition is the most tempting. The base game is $40, so spending $60 for that extra content doesn't seem too bad. Elite Nightfall edition seems like overkill to me. It should have an extra bonus cosmetic or something. It looks like there's gonna be a battle pass, which I don't hate the idea as much as the next guy. I've experienced some great and bad battle passes. I can see it being good motivation to keep playing. Let's hope it's good. As well as the monetization. Some would say they went overboard with Killing Floor 2's monetization and cosmetics. I hope there's a middle ground that makes everyone happy. I doubt it, but I remember liking the battle pass for the Halo Master Chief Collection. Just make it easy to obtain or have no time limit. I hope this battle pass and monetization stuff doesn't get in the way of the Steam Workshop. I hope it's just as good or better than Killing Floor 1 and 2's Workshop. I might be reaching, but a level editor like Halo's Forge mode would add a ton of replayability. I also wonder what other game modes there'll be. Obviously survival mode, but objective mode is a big one. I'm pretty sure people loved it in Killing Floor 1, but they didn't give it as much effort in Killing Floor 2. I still enjoyed it. And who knows, maybe the PvP will actually stick this time like Left 4 Dead Versus mode. Probably not, but we'll see. And that's the thing, there's a lot of things we'll just have to wait and find out. Like how they update the game, what type of content they add, will most of it be free? Does the progression have longevity like the old games? Do the specialists suck? We'll just have to wait and find out. Hindsight is 2020, so you guys can let me know in the future how things turned out. We have the beta, the launch, and the first few updates to see how things go. It's been about a decade since the last Killing Floor game, so let's hope it's not a Payday 3 or Battlefield 2042 situation. Even 2042 got better over time. But I know a lot of you are done with Killing Floor 2, or at least just wanted a new game for a long time. Let's hope this satisfies that Zed killing itch. If Killing Floor 3 is a bad game, I don't think this series can handle it. There's gonna be so many new people being introduced to Killing Floor for the first time. At least when Payday 3's launch sucked, there were more people playing Payday 2. That's how established that game is. But if Killing Floor 3 has a bad launch, I don't think a bunch of Killing Floor fans are gonna run to the previous games. Maybe the first one. I'm sure new fans will go back and play Killing Floor 2 either way because it's only $1 on sale and you get to experience all of that content. Killing Floor 2 will be a nice middle ground game in the series. Luckily, I don't think Killing Floor 3 will suck. At the most, it'll have mixed opinions or something. But I'm expecting and hoping that it'll be good. I'm a big fan of this series and enjoyed every game so far. All 2 of them. Either way, I'm going all in with Killing Floor 3. It's been a long time since I really wanted to get into a game. Like, let's see how fast I can make a 100-hour review for Killing Floor 3. You guys have been so supportive on these Killing Floor videos. It really means so much to me. It gives me so much motivation and positivity for this series. That's why I'm showing off some of my favorite comments from my last Killing Floor video. I like giving you guys the spotlight. Not to mention my biggest super thanks thus far. Shout out to the homie for real. I never expect that type of thing from you guys, it really means the world to me. It actually made me think and I decided to start a membership for my channel. I've never been big into that type of thing, but I see other creators doing it and their viewers enjoying it. Of course it's totally optional and I didn't want to do more than $1 a month right now. If I could do 50 cents I would. I don't expect one member, so I'll appreciate every single one. Okay, that's enough being a money-hungry content creator. Let's balance things out by showing you that I turned off my crosshair. I know it was blasphemy having it on in my last review. I hope you're happy. Again, I also recommend watching my first 2 Killing Floor reviews if you want to know more about the gameplay or the game itself. This was more of an annual checkup and just being hyped for Killing Floor 3. My god, I've said Killing Floor so many times in this video, I dare you to go back and take a shot for every time I said Killing Floor. You wouldn't survive. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching until the very end. You're definitely my favorite type of viewer by far. A rating would be appreciated, and you might want to subscribe for Killing Floor content even though I upload other games. I'm excited for Killing Floor 3 and to see where it goes. I'm sure a lot of you will be on that journey with me. Thanks for watching. Peace.